Hi, everybody. My name's Brooke Tesui McNamara Sensei, and I'm here with my amazing husband, Rob Daishin McNamara Sensei, and we wanted to have a short, enlivening conversation about a retreat that we're co-leading with two other colleagues in January and early February 2024 called The Art of Aliveness, clarifying and claiming the potency of who you truly are. And we're very excited for this retreat. I will say. It's our first time leading a retreat as transmitted Zen teachers and just people who really care about other people's growth and transformation and capacity to serve this beautiful and aching world that we're in and that we are. And so I want to ask you, Rob Daishin Sensei, what you're most excited or enlivened by in preparing for holding this retreat.
Um, what I'm most excited about is the intersection of mystical training as it pertains to psychological and social well-being,
Mhm.
um, for meeting the both complexities and challenges that we're facing as a society, as a global civilization. And I haven't had the privilege and opportunity to quite do that and to lead it yet. And now it's happening after a couple decades of training and practice. So I feel like there's just a deep passion to share the gifts and wisdom that I both have and am in that space. And I also see just a profound need um, to help people with what's happening, what's unfolding in our world and in communities, and then in intimate relationships, and then within self. Like the gifts of our training and practice are really robust to serve all of those contexts.
Can you say a little bit more about that? I mean, I know what we've been trained to do and lead and offer and practice and live, but can you give some concrete examples of what people can expect to be training in and exploring in this retreat?
For sure. Yeah. I think um, as the world changes and it's kind of um, the rapidity and intensity of change. And
Mhm.
that change has always been a given, but things are accelerating and the kinds of changes are becoming more and more destabilizing.
Mhm.
And so when we think of a global context that's in massive, massive change dynamics, what is the ground of being
Mhm.
that you personally have subjective access to that enables you to be equanimous and at peace with what is,
Mhm.
would be kind of a first just grounded example in terms of what is your uh, original seat of consciousness that is unmoving,
Mhm.
that allows for a more intimate contact with the dynamism that's in flow in
Mhm.
our world right now. And so that would be the kind of the first ground that I would point to. And then the second one is a clarifying of the coherence of what and who people are. And
Mhm.
typically in Buddhism, we're talking about like, well, the self doesn't exist, and like we need to realize no self. Um, and that doesn't quite capture the heart of it. There is a uniqueness to your vehicle, and the integrity and coherency or continuity of uniqueness is something that needs to be trained such that as change dynamics present themselves, the connective tissues between who you've always been from a
Mhm.
timeless perspective to who you've been from a historical perspective and who you're in a process of becoming from an aspirational lens. Like tending to that part of ourselves is really core to being able to function well in these kinds of change dynamics. So
Yeah.
that'd be kind of a second thing. And then the third, I could go on more in depth, but the third kind of high level is the coherency of relationship. So
Mhm.
the cultural connectivity and capacity for us to be in life and death together through its deep aspirations and its profound grievances and losses. And how do we maintain the quality of relationship is another area where we'll be focusing.
Mhm.
And the skillfulness of our capacity to both express and communicate and listen
Mhm.
across differences and into differences is something that the broader landscape I see being more stressed and thinned out in those social skills.
Yeah.
And this is precisely the moment where you need to up level those competencies. So
Yeah.
that would be kind of the three areas that are just top of mind that um, I'm excited to play with
Yeah.
you and others in those spaces. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can just add a layer to anchor those three areas of training and growth and exploration. How we'll be doing that, I mean, first and foremost, we'll be practicing meditation in a Zen context, in a beautifully ritualized space, to really allow everyone to make contact with their original nature. And in terms of contacting, so there'll be this opportunity to experience vast awareness, which is inherently liberating and is everyone's birthright. So everyone can contact this true nature that's already free. And then in terms of the uniqueness, which I totally agree is our deeper gifts and our um, offerings that no one can bring except us, based on the patterning of our personality and our history and soul. I'm really excited that we'll be offering creative practice. And for people who identify as artists, there'll be an opportunity to really bring that part of yourself into the community and the retreat time. And if you don't identify as an artist and that word intimidates you, or even the idea of creative practice intimidates you, it's really going to be created for all levels of experience and will create opportunities for you to play and access parts of yourself that can adventure and discover that aren't usually valued. We're really going to create an opportunity for you to um, write, move, draw, paint in a way that serves you and bringing your deeper gifts up to the surface in a way that will be really enlivening. Even if you never show anyone what you create, it's a process of bringing your uniqueness to the surface rather than more socialized parts remaining um, on top of that deeper gift. So that I'm really excited for the creative practice part of the retreat. And then in terms of relationship, we have inherited a lot of practices and skill sets that, of course, we're always still training, that we're going to invite participants into in terms of cultivating intimacy and connection and even one mind, but also how to work with conflict and difference and um, include difference and diversity in a greater sense of unity. So we'll also spend time in nature. We'll also spend time um, doing embodiment practices. And so that really the whole retreat is designed to bring various parts of ourselves online so that we can come into a full aliveness that includes body, mind, heart, and relationship.